Hi everyone! So for today's video, I will be discussing about oral genre or oral literature. I know that all the viewers out there have their own definition or idea to the said topic, but I'll just give some sort of information or knowledge about oral genre. Oral literature are stories which were designed to be told from one person to the next. In addition, oral literature are written down today but were intended to be heard. What we call literature today is based in almost all cultures on the spoken word. Before man learned to read and write, he used the spoken word to tell stories, usually about heroes who face all kinds of dangers. Humans talked thousands of years before they developed writing. Literature, or more accurately stories, were memorized and taught to children who passed them into their children. Beowulf was passed down for generations and finally written so we could read it now. The Old Testament in the Bible was handed down this way. The Epic of Gilgamesh was the same. Our next topic is about characteristics of oral literature. What would you do if one of your friends tell you or ask you what specifically makes oral literature distinct from written literature? What exactly would be your response? So, we are going to look at some of the outstanding characteristics of oral genre. The first one is the verbal variability. Oral literature as a composition rendered verbally is highly fluid. You will notice that each oral artist performs a common text in an individual way. Even if the oral narrative is well known, each artist will perform it in a given way by adding some information and removing other segments. This is influenced by the artist's skills at the composition and improvisation. This aspect of verbal variability is only found in oral literature. As you are well aware, written literature is not open to any modification by a reader, but oral literature is. The second one is the performance. We have mentioned that oral literature is rendered verbally. Performance is therefore the most basic characteristics of oral literature. Oral literature is dependent on a performer who formulates it in words accompanied with actions on a specific occasion. If you think about deeply, you will realize that oral literature relies on repeated performance for its existence. It is therefore inconceivable to talk about oral literature without considering the text in which it is realized, that is, performance. The third one is the audience. Now that we have talked about performance, let us also discuss audience. In normal circumstances, there can be no performance without audience to participate in it. This statement does not discount the fact that there are songs we can sing to ourselves as we work. It is only in oral literature where an oral artist has to face-to-face contact with his or her audience. The last one is oral literature is dynamic. As the society changes, so does oral literature in order to adapt to the changing circumstances, recognizing the dynamic and fluid nature of oral literature and learning to appreciate the context which it flows, help us all to recognize the artistic genius in communities all around the world. We are done in the characteristics of oral literature. Now, let us proceed to the primary element of oral literature, which is the speech. After speech, important elements include storytelling, plot, protagonist, antagonist, culture, morals and lessons, preservation of history, legitimization, and praise of rulers. Many people ask me, what is the difference between oral and written literature? The difference between oral and written genre is that oral genre forms a more fundamental component of culture. Moreover, oral literature is performance based such as telling of urban legends, is an example of this literature, while written literature is more theoretical like novels. Before I end this video, I would like to say that so long as men and women live, and they have the power of speech, they will create and render their refined thoughts verbally. Therefore, oral literature shall never die. It can only suffer neglect. Thank you.